Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be covering the Richmar Quattro 2.5. In this video we're going to go through setup of the electrodes, we're going to go through the setup of your protocols and adjusting the settings, and then setting this up for your patient treatment. To set up the device properly, we're going to plug in the unit on the left side over here with the power brick. There will be a toggle switch to power it on. Once powered on, it'll go through a self-calibration phase where it'll beep several times and then bring you to the treatment screen that we have in front of us right now. To set up the electrodes, we're going to use this gray lead wire adapter that'll plug into the corresponding ports for each channel. So for channels 1 and 2, there will be a port on the back left. For channels 3 and 4, there will be a port on the back on this side. So once we have the gray lead wire adapter plugged in, we're going to take our black lead wires and plug them into the corresponding channels. You'll notice on the gray adapter there will be channels 1 and channels 2. This will be for the corresponding channels when setting up treatment. Once the black lead wires are plugged into there, we're going to take electrodes and plug them into the ends of the lead wires here. Again, making sure they're for the corresponding channel on the adapter here. Once we have all the lead wires set up properly, we're going to go through and select our protocol and then begin the treatment. So, getting into the device itself and how to maneuver through it. You'll notice at the top, these gray buttons will have a corresponding channel, 1, 2, 3, and 4 underneath it. To get to the specified channel, you simply press down on the button for the channel. So right now you'll notice channels 1 and 2 are blinking. That means all the settings we're adjusting here are for channels 1 and 2 treatments. If we're trying to set one up on 3 and 4, we simply press down on the buttons for 3 and 4, and you'll notice 3 and 4 are now blinking. So going back to treatment 1 real quick, I'm going to show you through how to adjust a lot of these settings that you see here on the screen. So everything on the screen can be adjusted with the corresponding buttons on the right side. So they're all labeled depending on what we're trying to adjust. Simply press on the button and then use the white dial to adjust through it. So I'll go through the waveforms really quick and show you how to adjust this. The first button up here says waveform, so I'm going to press this, and you'll notice on the bottom left the waveform itself is blinking. So the first one here is interferential 4-pole. Probably one of the most common protocols that you guys will be using in your clinic. Next, you use the dial to adjust. So the next one will be IF2P, so the 2-pole pre-modulated interferential current, only requiring 2 electrodes there. Move forward, EMS in the synchronized state. So EMS is your typical NMES, muscle re-education or muscle strengthening protocols in the synchronized state. You can also put it to an asynchronized to have the channels alternating for you. Next one will be TENS, another common protocol you use for pain management here. And then we come into the Russian stimulation, both in the synchronized and the asynchronized settings here. So go back to IF4P, as this will be most likely the most common one you guys will be using. To adjust some of the parameters here, for example, treatment time, I'd simply press on the time. You'll notice the time will start blinking, and I'll use the dial to adjust the minutes properly. Again, the vector, the carrier frequencies, and the beat high and low can all be adjusted with the corresponding buttons. Simply press it, and you'll notice the setting will start blinking for you, and you can adjust. If you'd like to use a preset protocol, you can simply press on the button that says Program, and you'll notice in the middle, P1 for Program 1 will blink, and you can use the dial to adjust to Program 2, 3, all the way through 10. If you want to understand a little bit more about those preset protocols and what they're titled and why you might use them, the user manual will have a definition for each one of them, as well as the parameters associated. So once we have our protocol selected, you can just press on the white button to select it and set up the electrodes, and we'll be ready to begin treatment. From here, at the top, you'll see channels 1 and 2, 0.0 MA or milliamps. This will be the intensity for the treatment. So simply just start increasing with the dial to increase the level of stimulation that we're trying to create. You'll notice the timer will start to count down automatically, and your treatment will begin. To pause the treatment, simply press on the white knob to pause. Channels 1 and 2 are now paused. Press it again to resume, and you can let the patient be on their own from here. When the treatment timer gets down to 0, the application will stop. If you need to stop early, you can press on the stop button here, and that will clear the protocol for you. If you guys have any questions on how to set up certain protocols or adjust specific settings, feel free to reach out to us here at Richmar, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.